There's an entire genre of drinks that I don't really see many people talking about, which I genuinely believe is one of the most delicious and exciting categories in all of existence. It takes all of the best characteristics of aperitif style drinks, being crisp, bittersweet and refreshing, blends that with the amazing vibes and characteristics of tiki drinks, bridges the two together, and is known as APERI-TIKI. This summer, I want to really get behind APERI-TIKI drinks, really celebrate them because they can be truly fantastic. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 of my favorite recipes, one of which being a very well-known APERI-TIKI style drink, known as the Stiggins Negroni. The second and third drinks today are going to be 2 of my own personal creations. We're going to go with a Sgroppino Colada, which I'm very proud of the name of. And then after that, we're going to blend together a white Negroni and a Mai Tai, which I'm calling a Mai-Groni. So let's make some delicious APERI-TIKI cocktails. If you've followed the channel for a while now, you'll know I love this genre of drinks. In fact, the first drink I ever shared on the channel was a Jungle Bird, which is very much an APERI-TIKI cocktail. And I've pretty much followed up on this every single year with some kind of variation on a Jungle Bird, and there's more of that to come, so stay tuned. Today, I'm gonna start with the first drink, which is gonna be the Stiggins Negroni. So the Stiggins Negroni is essentially a riff on a classic Negroni, where we're incorporating pineapple rum in the form of Planteray Stiggins Fancy Pineapple Rum. And essentially what we've got here is Planteray Original Dark Rum, infused with ripe Queen Victoria pineapples, and this completely transforms the character of the drink. So I like to go for a 2:1:1 ratio here. 2 parts of our Planteray Stiggins Pineapple Rum, or 50ml, to 1 part or 25ml of Italian red bitter aperitif. And then once again, 1 part or 25ml of Sweet Vermouth. So you could just stir this down and get a fantastic drink, but one secret weapon I like to add is just 0.3 grams of acid booster. And this is essentially a blend of citric and malic acid dissolved into water at 30% concentrate, so it's very strong. And just this really small amount really brings through those fruity flavors, allows all those kind of vibrant flavors to pop. Without the acid booster, the drink's fantastic. You get that really nice ripe pineapple coming through. But if you do add the acid booster, I just find it really brings through those fruit flavors even more. Obviously you get a little bit more acidity, which adds a little bit more freshness and vibrancy to the drink. So it is an optional step, but if you can add it, I do strongly recommend trying it. And if you don't know what an acid booster is, you can check out this video, which I'll also link in the description below, which tells you everything you need to know about this magical little ingredient. I'm just gonna stir that down to rapidly mix, chill, and dilute the drink. Then we're just gonna strain that into our frozen glass with a big block of ice in there. Gonna express some orange over the drink like you would with a classic Negroni, and then garnish with a little slice of dried pineapple. And there you have the Stiggins Negroni. I love rum in a Negroni, and I think this takes it to the next level again. You've got the classic kind of bittersweet notes, the herbal notes, but then this is really complemented by that pineapple flavor, which comes through a lot from the rum. And I think just 0.3 grams of acid booster elevates even further. And all the ingredients kind of come together to give almost like a wild strawberry flavor, which is really delicious. If you don't know, pineapple shares a lot of flavor compounds with strawberry, so I guess this does make sense. But that's just a wonderful riff on the Negroni, one you should definitely try, which is really easy to put together. So now we're going to talk about the next drink, which I'm really excited by the name of, but even more so the drink itself, which is called a Sgroppino Colada. Now, categorizing the Sgroppino Colada as an APERI-TIKI style drink might be a stretch for some. The Sgroppino is generally more of an after-dinner drink, maybe more of a digestif style drink, but I have seen it called an aperitif drink where it's served as more of a palate cleanser before a meal. So when it tastes this good, I don't even care. A Sgroppino is generally made with vodka, sparkling wine, and lemon sorbet. We're gonna slightly change that to bring in some of the characteristics of a pina colada, where we've got some pineapple and coconut in there. These 2 things together are gonna be fantastic, and when the name is as good as a Sgroppino Colada, you know this is just right. So we've subbed out the vodka, subbed in Planteray Stiggins Fancy Rum once again, and then we're gonna combine that with Prosecco, and in the freezer, I have some Coconut Sorbet. So you know this is gonna be a delicious combination, really easy to put together, and this is gonna make 2 drinks. So we're gonna start with 50 grams of our Planteray Stiggins Fancy Pineapple Rum, which is our core flavor, bringing the pineapple notes, and rum bringing much more character than vodka. We're gonna go 100 grams of sparkling wine, which brings texture and actually a really nice complementary flavor to the rum. And then finally, 200 grams of our coconut sorbet. And this is instead of a lemon sorbet and a classic Sgroppino, finishing off our kind of triangle of flavors from a pina colada, rum, pineapple, coconut. This is gonna be tasty. Just gonna whiz this up for a couple of seconds. Serve it up in our frozen coupe glasses, or you could use champagne flutes here. Garnish with a nice sprig of mint and a dried lime wheel. And there we have the Sgroppino Colada, which could not be more perfect for a hot, sunny day. Cheers everyone. It's just so refreshing, so clean, so easy drinking. It's got an amazing texture, which is a little bit fizzy, a little bit creamy. The rum really comes through, the pineapple and coconut, just an amazing flavour profile. And I think the mint really lifts the drink. Everything is just perfect together. So I really hope you enjoy the Sgroppino Colada. And now we're gonna blend together a white Negroni and a Mai Tai called a Mai-Groni. The final drink today blends together two of my favourite aperitif and tiki cocktails, a white Negroni, which is essentially gin, bitter Gentian liqueur and dry vermouth, and a Mai Tai, which is a blend of rums, orange liqueur, lime, almond syrup, and maybe a touch of salt if you like to add that. And this drink kind of takes some of my favourite elements of each, bridges them together, and creates something actually completely different to either a white Negroni or a Mai Tai, which I think really works. So it's going to be a shaken cocktail, starting with 2 rums actually. And I do like to blend rums in a Mai Tai, both of which have a particular purpose, and both come from this video's sponsor, which is Planteray rum. So first of all, I'm gonna go 40 mils of Planteray 3 stars rum, which is the core rum in the drink. And this is a blend of rums from Barbados, Jamaica, and Trinidad. This brings our core flavor profile to the drink of vanilla, tropical fruit, and a little bit of banana as well. And we're actually complementing this with 10 mils of Jamaican rum, which is Planteray Zaimaca, which I absolutely love. And this has those really nice funky flavors in there, loads of really nice ripe tropical fruit in there, mango, ripe pineapple, even a little bit of almost tepache flavor, a fermented pineapple drink, which is very delicious. These 2 rums obviously work really nicely together, but you can experiment with the full range of rums from Planteray. They have rums from lots of different origins, really celebrating the terroir of the rum. And if you want to check out Planteray's website, I'll link in the description below so you can see the full range for yourself. Big thanks to Planteray for sponsoring this video. And now we can add our next ingredient. In a Mai Tai, we generally use some orange liqueur in there. But what we're going to do here is sub in a Gentian-based liqueur, which is really popular in a white Negroni. Quite a strong flavour, which you need to stand up against something like the Zaimaca. And I've added 10 mils here in place of the orange liqueur you'd usually find in a Mai Tai. So it's going to have quite a different flavour profile. Next up, we're going to go with our lime juice, 20 mils. We're going to go in with 10 mils of an almond syrup, also known as an Orgeat syrup. I'm going with Monin here. And this is our core sweetness here, which is a key flavour of a Mai Tai. And then I like to just add half a gram of a 1:5 saline solution, just to bring all those really big flavours together. I'm going to shake this up nice and vigorously. Fine strain into a frozen glass with a big rock of ice in there. Garnish with a nice cherry, a mint sprig for aroma, and a little straw. And there we have a mashup of the white Negroni and the Mai Tai, known as the Mai-Groni. So giving it a taste. Cheers again, everybody. It's undeniably a blend of the 2 things. The Sousa is quite a big flavour, so you do really get that coming through. But it actually ties in really nicely with the Zaimaca from Planteray. Those big, funky kind of fruit flavours, tied with those more bittersweet notes of the Gentian and the Sousa. The almond brings a really nice nuttiness to bridge the 2 together. We've got that core rum flavour from the Planteray 3 stars. The mint brings a really nice aroma to the drink. And as I said at the start of the video, this takes all the best elements of aperitif, being crisp, bittersweet and refreshing, ties in those really nice flavours and characteristics of tiki drinks, bridges the 2 together, and that, I think, is a perfect example of an APERI-TIKI cocktail. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this has inspired you to kind of bridge together those 2 worlds. Make sure you stay tuned for more APERI-TIKI drinks in the future. Once again, a big thank you to Planteray rum for sponsoring this video. And what's your favourite APERI-TIKI cocktail? Or what drinks would you like to bring together to make APERI-TIKI? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future APERI-TIKI content. Make sure you check these videos out next, including this one, which is that full, completely free 50 video essential cocktails course to really get you started on your journey. And I really hope you enjoy some APERI-TIKI cocktails. There's going to be more of these coming. See you in the next video, and cheers for watching.